Sandeep, last time I want to finish with asking a couple personal questions. I think last time I asked you, what it was like to be a billionaire. And I think you laughed and you said, you know what, I think you flew your parents, I think first class from India to Dubai. And that was like, a small thing that you did to celebrate.
Not first class, business class. First
Business,
class is still very costly. I don't, from where I come from, I can't spend that money.
good. I like that. You need a
Like,
frugal founder. You definitely need a
uh,
frugal founder. But what's your life like these days? Again, now you guys are leading, dominating, and in the next 3 to 6 months, it'll be even more clear. You got a bigger team, you got more capital. How do you stay Sandeep every single day? How do you get up and make sure that you stay humble, focus on the issues, keep the team motivated, and make sure that you're still that scrappy kid from India, because you can't rest on your laurels, you can't get too comfortable, or you'll lose this tremendous opportunity. So how do you do it?
absolutely. I think you summarize it very nicely, and I think a lot of entrepreneurs, especially when they are in the upward swing, right? They tend to ignore these things. I think few actionable things that I implemented, especially after this VC round. Also, there is this friend from or the investors in us Excel partners. Like they have this person like Pratik Agarwal. Shout out to him also. That he gave me a lot of tips about team building and all that. And for me, like one of the most exciting achievements is the team that I've built in the last 6 8 months. Because before that, like I was involved in everything, and in the last 6 months, you still see Polygon cruising at that speed only, where I am not directly involved. Indirectly, I'm still involved, but not directly involved in the operations side of things, like BD calls, this call, that call, right? That those kind of things. So that's like, and there is community now, Polygon Village DAO, and all that community is doing it. Then there is this evangelist firm, like I'm talking about Polygon Studios, which is the kind of the labs which promotes the platform and ecosystem. So I got very good tips in how I can, I can build this team by submitting myself to the team. Like, instead of thinking of it as that something I'm doing, I think of it as something they are doing, and my job is to make them successful in their particular things what they are doing. And secondly, second actionable point for all the, like, if there are entrepreneurs who are listening to it, is that basically always, like, make sure relentlessly focus on not building a yes man culture around it. Like, once you grow, like everybody, like now they would come at the level we are. Oh, you are this, you did this, like, they will give you, and kind of this thing, unnecessary praise and all that. But you need people who can tell you that this is where you are doing wrong, right? So I generally, like, some of the most kind of people who have grown the most and powerful people in like, let's say, Polygon Studios team, are the people who have who are able to tell to me on my face that, Sandeep, this is wrong, this is right, right? Like, you are wrong, you're being wrong here. And I try to cultivate that feedback culture so that I don't get into the bubble. Like, many times we see some of these guys on Twitter, and they go crazy, like some of the things that they start tweeting about. And from a distance, I can clearly see that this guy is now in a bubble.
Right.
And everybody's saying, "Oh, you are this, sir. You are this, sir," and he's like, doing crazy things. So I think having that's a very actionable, clearly actionable point. That don't build a yes man team. If you feel that it's like that, it's time to change a few things, or bring external mentors who can give you clear insights. And as I said, that submitting yourself to the team. And then, as an entrepreneur, like you are always, this is a very dear topic to me. Like, I can talk on and on, and I know we are on time already. But I think something that has always kind of helped me is, like, as an entrepreneur, when you are starting, you have some level of self-esteem, that I am this, I can do this, that you buck up yourself. And that takes you to a certain stage where it gets you to a particular place. But beyond that place, like, you have to transform yourself into more of a team player, motivator, cheerleader, this kind of things, right? And that includes swallowing your own, pride and ego on a lot of things, because you are always involved in things, and you want to do it themselves. But now you want people who are doing it themselves, and you have to play a supporting role instead of being on the front line, right? So that's where, like, this thing that came to mind. I tweeted about it also, that the day. and it's also important to understand your limitations, because now where we are, we have so much talented people which are much more talented than me, right? They're coming in. So you have to accept your limitations and let them do what they are best at. So, I say that the day I accepted my limitations, I became limitless. Because the moment I accepted that, these are my limitations, I am good at these two things, but these four things I am not good at. Right. So get the people who can do it for you, and you become limitless because you can scale infinitely from there. Right. So these are some of the things that, helped me a lot.
That's deep, man. Accept your limitations so you can become limitless. It's deep, man.
Yep.
But you're right. As an entrepreneur, you want to always get it done, stay up late. You have to touch everything. But if you work as hard as you can do the work of 2 or 3 people, and you can micromanage everything for a little while, and then it breaks down. And if you can't humble yourself, if you can't lead a team, which actually people think the leader is like the one that tells everybody what to do. No, the leader is the one that listens, right? And tries to help people do things. Until you do that, you're never really going to build anything significant.
Yeah. You will never be able to scale. You almost, because your mind has limitations. Or maybe, for me, it was a very humble relation. My mind had limitations. Previously, I used to think that I can do everything, I can take it. But then you start going crazy. Like I've very openly said that, there was a good last 1 year before my baby got born and all that. Like I was almost on stress pills. Right. Because I was sleeping less constantly for last 3-4 years, working 14-15 hours a day. My typical day had 25 to 26 calls a day. How crazy is that? 26 calls a day. Even today, like now I'm much more scaled up. Even today, like I would have probably like 13 calls, 12, 13 calls. Yes. So you go crazy if you don't scale yourself. And the only way to scale yourself is accept that you are not good at many of the things and get people who can do it.
The greedy bankers are about to do it again. In 2008, they crashed our financial system and nearly bankrupted the entire global economy. Then they received trillions of dollars in government bailouts. And after, they demanded fat bonuses paid for by you, the taxpayer.
It turns out the banks haven't just been screwing the American taxpayers, they're also screwing over their investors. Turns out the banking industry is the worst place you could put your money, despite enormous taxpayer bailouts.
Now the bankers are back to take away your financial freedom. They lie and tell you that cryptocurrency isn't safe. They try to make it illegal for you to choose how to invest your hard-earned money. They lie and say cryptocurrency is used by money launderers and criminals. But look at the record. It's the banks themselves that launder hundreds of billions of dollars every year to the biggest criminal operations in the world.
Leaked documents have revealed how some UK banks have helped criminals, money launderers and Russians under sanctions.
American authorities discovered that the Sinaloa cartel moved $881 million through HSBC accounts as bank officials turned a blind eye to the illegality.
The bankers lie and say cryptocurrency is not a real investment. Meanwhile, the smartest CEOs in the world are buying billions and billions of it. The truth is that banks lie about cryptocurrency because it makes them scared. The banks take $9 trillion per year of your hard-earned money, and they are worried that they will finally be exposed. They're scared because crypto means they can no longer control your money, which means they can no longer control you. They are scared because you might actually understand your money and intelligently decide what to do with it. Now is the time for us to come together, fight back, and take control. It's time to educate ourselves, our families, and our communities. Because financial education means financial freedom. We know that cryptocurrencies will help us build the new decentralized financial system of the future. A banking system that is of the people, by the people, and for the people. A banking system where access to finance is a fundamental human right. A banking system that is free and fair and welcomes all humans on this earth. The DeFi revolution is happening. We, the people, can no longer be fooled. We choose to take control of our finances. We choose to take control of our freedom. We choose to take control of our future. Join us, and let's take back our financial freedom